Alright, you can tell me, bro. Were you lying? You were lying, weren't you? Thank you to our follower patrons, Strawbones, Redwood4765, and Midnight Gemlord. Now, if you remember this breakdown / discussion on why the Demon King would lie about Meliodas' true magic, please leave your own thoughts on why the Demon King would lie in the comments section down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure to hit that little notification bell so you miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below. You can pay as low as $1 a month. You get exclusive videos, early content, and more. You can also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Now, let's hop into the discussion. What's up, guys? I'm Pencil here, and here we are to talk about, well, the Demon King and why he lied about true magic. And here's the thing, right? The main reason I'm saying he lied is because Arthur exists, for the most part, right? Or the fact that chaos existed in general, in verse. Now, notably, I'm gonna have to take a wombo combo of statements here, but internally, there's a debate just on the pure story on whether or not chaos was stronger than true magic Meliodas. There just is. I'm going to take the author statement by Nakaba, where he said true magic Mel is almost as strong as Hawk Mama, and we know Hawk Mama equals chaos, so I believe chaos is stronger. But this goes back to a whole different thing, right? Because if chaos can casually exist in the world, one way or another, we don't know how long they existed. We have no idea when Arthur decided, you know what, this regular dimension is aight, it's clean, it's cool and all that, but you know what, I'm gonna leave. And he did. We have no idea when that happened. Unfortunately, we do not have enough elaboration on that. Nearly 100 chapters in, he could have left right after we saw him in Cursed by Light, or he could have left right before the Four Knights of the Apocalypse series started, and he just started sending his men out rampantly. I believe it's somewhere in between those 2 points. I think he was like, maybe after a couple years he left. But regardless, we know he spent at least a confirmed amount of at least half a year full power chaos in our world. Well, wait a minute. Not our world. The Seven Deadly Sins world. If Arthur popped up in our world, sweet mother of mercy, unless we're all descendants of King Arthur, and this really is Camelot that expanded over this entire... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm messing with you. But regardless, the reason that's important is because remember what the Demon King and Meliodas said. The Demon King, he told Meliodas, hey, don't lie to you, bruh. You leave here with that stuff unlocked, dog, the verse ain't lasting. Simply put, you gonna destroy that world if you stay out there. And the thing is, Meliodas took this at face value. Like, we have no idea how Meliodas knew that, but according to him, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to move to the demon realm, which raises a whole nother set of questions. Like, how is the Demon King, of being as confirmed weaker than Chaos, able to create a more stable realm than Chaos itself did? But hey, questions for another time. But that's the thing. We know true magic is weaker than chaos, but chaos was able to exist for an extended period of time, and we still have a world. Admittedly, now that Arthur's messing around in his own little dimension, he's accidentally, inadvertently messing up the real world, or not the real world, the other world, or I suppose our world. Once again, I keep saying our, as if, yes, me, that guy with the pencil, the Seven Deadly Sins character. But he's messing up Britannia by simply messing around in his own little Camelot dimension. But at least for 6 months, which is way longer than Meliodas had from the moment he unlocked his true magic and threw it away, the world's fine, like living its good life, just vibing. Like, seriously, there were no problems. Meliodas didn't even think it was a problem for a whole 6 months. He just let it slide. So, what's the dealio? Obviously, the Demon King had to be captain. At least in my opinion, right? Like, the Demon King is a serial liar. Bro, he'll give you some accurate information, but he do be a fibber. He do be fibbing a little bit here, a little bit there. He be fibbing a lot. Like, remember when he just straight lied to Zeldris? And he was like, hey, yeah, I want Meliodas to be the Demon King. I want you to get him the commandments, because I want to have him rule. Psych, I lied. I'm the Demon King. Only, always, and forever. He lied pretty much. Well, technically not talking about chaos is more of an omission of truth. But in a court, that's a lie. I believe so. So, like, he lied about chaos. He in the Supreme Deity peddled this long-term game that we are supreme. We are the deities. Don't ask about the fairy tree. The fairy tree doesn't count. We are the top-level beings. Meanwhile, their mom slash dad slash parent was just vibing in a pig. Like straight up, chaos was living its best life, oinking around all creation. So they lied about that too. And obviously, the true purpose of the commandments is also a lie. Also, to mention, no one knew who the original demon was. A decent part of me doesn't even think Meliodas knew. Mainly because Zeldris didn't know. Like, when Zeldris was looking at Chella and Cusack fuse, he was like, oh, y'all can do that? What's an original demon? Original demon, like, the Demon King, he's held back a lot of information and told a whole ton of lies. And number 3, if this is 3, I already lost count. Regardless, how would the Demon King know? Like, what made him guesstimate? What was the logical approximation that he made that would take post-purgatory base Meliodas that could just casually exist in Britannia to true magic that would suddenly cause, like, planetary imbalance and the world would literally cave in on itself? Like, where did he get the Carfax for that? Like, I don't know. So it leads me to believe bro was just capping. Like, straight up, he saw that Mel was getting true magic and was like, I kind of can't have you having that, dog. I know I was talking smack about you being not able to beat me without your true magic, but I didn't think you were actually going to do it. I didn't know you were that desperate. So hold on, bro. Let me gaslight you into believing you can't live your life with this power. But the thing is, after I made this realization, my biggest question was why? Like, of all the reasons. Like, obviously, because true magic Mel was stronger than him. So maybe it was just that. But if that was it, then why was he gaslighting Meliodas about his magic in the first place? Wouldn't he be happy that Meliodas never unleashed it? Like, for some reason, in their early fight, he was like, you can never beat me unless you had your true magic. Oh, you're just using a fake copy of Chandler's magic. You're just an imitation. You can never beat me without your true magic, blah, blah, blah. But the moment, the instant, the second, Brody went, and then awakened his true magic, the demon king was like, whoa, pal, amigo, buddy, what you doing there, pal? You can't live in the real world with that big of a thing on your hip. Like, come on now, take the switch off of it. Take the switch off the true magic real quick. Like, but why? Like, I don't know. The two motivations don't line up. They just don't. And I think a big reason why the Demon King had such a sudden switch up is because he just didn't want Mel to keep it. I think once he realized that his son was actually going to do it, he was like, oh, sweet mother of mercy, I'm going to lose. And, like, the best way to convince Mel to get rid of it or to not want to do it and leave him alive would be if Mel threw it away after he escaped purgatory. Because remember, the Demon King didn't look like he was dying anytime soon. In fact, he took the billion years he had in purgatory and was munching and chewing and chomping on all the purgatory beasts and getting even bigger. Which is crazy to think about, because 3,000 years ago, bro was already massive. His gains were already immaculate 3,000 years ago. I don't know why he thought he needed to get bigger, but he did. So, I'm assuming the Demon King just wanted a younger vessel because, darn, the beard was getting a little bit too hard to comb. But he could have cut that off. But hey, you know, as a person with a beard myself, you know, I understand sometimes when it gets too long, it gets a little too annoying, so you trim it down. But it still seems strange to me, right? Like, why go out of your way to risk him awakening it if you don't want him to have it in the first place? And I legit just think he realized he probably couldn't possess true magic Mel for a long period of time. Like, straight up, I think that's reason number one. He realized that, oh, wait, my son has access to a magic so girthy, so juicy, and so fat that if he were to slap it on the table in front of me, I wouldn't even be able to remotely swallow it and his consciousness. So I need to get rid of it. But the reason I don't even think it's that is because we see the Demon King get all up in Mel's guts. That sounds... I'm sorry. But we see the Demon King in Mel's head. We do see it. Even when he's awakened his true magic. Sure, it doesn't... At least I don't think... It's weird, right? When Meliodas leaped back into the real world after awakening his true magic, we see once the Demon King is expelled from his body, the 10 Commandments are kicked out. He's in his purgatory attire. Bond even mentions earlier, like, yo, Cappy, once you return, your gains, immaculate. I can smell them. So, technically, you can argue that it shouldn't be for a reason that he thought Mel would be too strong to possess. Because it seems like that body data copied before Mel even left the Dark Cocoon. Because I don't know, maybe you could argue it copied over after the Demon King was kicked out and then his soul and body finally rejoined, but he was already in his head. Like, bro was already chilling in the soul world. So he was in his body. So his body already copied the purgatory body's data. So it already had true magic. I think that's why Meliodas' form, when he's absorbed the 10 Commandments, resembles his true magic form. 2 arms and everything. And we see the Demon King, even once he reaches his prime state in Zeldris' body, never gets those arms. So it seems like as long as the Demon King went uncorrupted, like say he chopped off Bond, got him up out of here, removed the rest of the sins, and then just didn't worry about it, he would have been fine with True Magic Mel. He may have even had a stronger body. Who knows? Obviously, though, like, it's so weird to think that DK Mel is one of the weakest versions of him, just because, like, his scaling is really bad. But regardless, so that's not it. He didn't lie because of that. And remember, you may get a little bit lost, but the whole reason I'm saying that this whole thing was a lie, and it wasn't just, oh, the Demon King was just, he was right, you see he had to get rid of the magic, is because we know chaos can exist, and he's stronger than True Magic Mel. Or they are stronger than True Magic Mel. Whatever you want to call chaos, they are stronger than True Magic Mel. But True Magic Mel couldn't exist? And if it's not the fact that the Demon King could have wanted the body in a weaker state so he could override it easier, then what's left? Well, what was left after the Demon King was defeated? In terms of, like, deific beings, like characters that we would classify as deities in the Seven Deadly Sins world. Not much. I suppose Kath would count, because he's the incarnation of all of Chaos's negative emotions and, like, destructive impulses. So there's one. The Supreme Deity, who reincarnated about 6 months after. So there's 2. And then Chaos. But as we've seen, Mel, post-Purg, if the Supreme Deity incarnated at half strength, Mel in base should have been able to body bag her. And I know that's a crazy statement. I know we saw in Cursed by Light, he needed Zell's help, and he needed the crazy amps, he needed to be in Demon Mark, but, you know, arguments for other times, I suppose. I'll put those to bed for now. We'll leave those for now. You never know. Base Purgatory Mel is kind of crazy. But regardless of that, if it's only Kath, the Supreme Deity in Chaos, why was the Demon King pushing this narrative? This, you'll destroy the world, Mel. My world is better. You need to go live there, Mel, if you want to survive with this magic. So what is going on here? I think, and this is going to sound so stupid, I think the Demon King was just being petty. And I know this sounds so dumb, but we gotta remember what the Demon King knew. He knew that chaos existed. He also knew his son had mad potential. He also knew his son was going to be a liability regardless, left alive or not. Because he'd be a liability if he was inside the Demon King when he was possessing Mel's body or not. So, he knows that the son of the Demon King, his own flesh and blood, could grow massively. But he also is such a petty guy that you know he wouldn't want his son to prosper and live a good life. So I think the reason the Demon King lied about true magic is only because he knew chaos would come out, and he knew that if Meliodas got whatever amount of training with true magic, he'd have beaten chaos. And I know that sounds crazy. Hold on. Let me explain. Let me rationalize this to you real quick. So we know the Demon King has, like, extensive knowledge about his kids, right? Like, for some reason, he knew about true magic before Meliodas even awakened it. He knew the gains would be immaculate. He knew the gains would be more than him. He knew Meliodas would be able to rival him. All that good stuff. And we also know that he knows about chaos. Because, you know, that's his parent. I was about to call him his pops. That's his mom's. That's his parent. And we also know now that Meliodas is a monster. Like, in terms of sheer training potential, I'm sorry. It is still absolutely, fundamentally, whatever words or adjectives you need to describe to me, insane that Meliodas, after 16 years of probably on and off training, I don't know. This is only 16 years, no matter how much I believe that he may have hopped in purgatory and done some rounds with Zeldris. Just based on what the narrative has told so far, after 16 years of probably on and off training with, who knows, maybe without a training partner, maybe with a training partner, who knows? Bro got so strong that he's looking at Chaos King Arthur. Arguably, the strongest character in the verse that we know of to this day. To this day, full power Chaos King Arthur is something that we still don't necessarily understand the full strength of. We just don't. We've never seen it. We have never seen Chaos, nor the Chaos King Arthur, really 100% properly stressed when using confirmed 100% of their full power. And Meliodas looks at that guy who made the verse, made the entire verse, made his pops, and is like, you know what? If I'm going to fight him, I'm going to lunge at him in base. In base. Bro ran at him in base. Bro didn't even pull out assault mode in his presence. He pulled out Demon Mark to save his kid. That's about it. Arthur literally got stepped on only for him to say, Lance, that was kind of neat, my boy. You still ain't Meliodas level. Which is crazy to think about. And once again, we do not know. Arthur could have been using a non-millionth of his power. A non-millionth. I can't think of any numbers. I probably could. I could Google it right now. But a non-millionth of his ability is crazy. And it could be confirmed tomorrow, for all I know. But at least, if I had to guess, he was using some percentage of it that is relevant. And Meliodas, regardless of not, because Meliodas wouldn't know. He would have no clue. Because once again, he's never seen full power chaos either. He would have no idea how much Arthur's using. But he knows Arthur is a threat. But he deems him as so little a threat, he's going to lunge at him in base. And this is after 16 years of on and off training. Now, can you imagine how powerful Meliodas would be if he kept true magic? That form that casually surpassed deities. That form that's almost round start as strong as chaos. And he had 16 years of on and off training after that. I think he'd be cracked. I think he'd be snapped, kooky, insane. I think he would need to be in a mental hospital with how insane his magical powers would be at that point. But why did the Demon King tell him to get rid of it? Because indirectly, unironically, and backwardsly, he spun back for his pops, his moms, his parents. He legit realized that if I let this kid keep this magic and train with it as long as he can, he will literally be unstoppable. And me being the Demon King, top op, menace number one to my own kid. So it's crazy, but the Meliodas' biggest op is his pops. But the Demon King was like, I just can't let that happen. I just can't let this slide. I need him to get rid of it. And that's the only thing. Because I'm once again 100% a believer. Once the Demon King got, I think it would have been good. I honestly, knowing that the Demon King has the ability to cause tornadoes and storms and stuff like that, not passively. He does it all the time, though. Once again, this is the same guy who made a world. I would 100% believe everything was just theatrics. He just straight lied and made it all up. Because it's not like a Demon King level being ceased existing in the world once the Demon King was defeated. Once again, chaos exists. And even if you don't like it, chaos is powerful than the demon, more powerful than the Demon King. Or at least as powerful. If you want to lowball chaos for some reason, he's at least as powerful. They're at least as powerful as the Demon King. And the world was just fine for 6 whole months. And you're telling me a being weaker than chaos would have destroyed the planet? Really? Now, who knows? Maybe there's just some secret clause, like, in the coding. Like, let's say Chaos was actually a programmer all this time, and they were just like, you know what, code.exe, if there is a being comparable to me in verse, self-destruct. Self-destruct over a matter of who knows how long. And we don't know. Like, unfortunately, in the official translation, it's just saying that Britannia is going to be destroyed, not the entire world. I'd assume it'd be the entire world, though, because, like, look at what Tarmiel did. And you want to tell me Tarmiel's as strong as, heck, even base post-purgatory Meliodas on the talk of true magic? The whole world should have been getting put in a pack slowly but surely. But regardless, I could see it. I could see the Demon King as being like, I've already been accidentally training this man for the past 60 years. I'm not sure what he could do if he got that true magic and started training with that form. And you know what? I think I may be a lost cause. Let me gaslight this man to getting rid of himself. Like, because legitimately, I don't think Arthur would even be an ounce of a problem in the narrative. At least if the consistent power-up that we've seen is consistent, and Arthur literally isn't like a trillionth of his full power by the time we saw him appear in Leonis. If he is at any fraction of his real power, can you imagine how strong a 16 years worth of training true magic Mel would be? Can you? The verse is gone. And I think the Demon King knew that. Because he is a relatively smart dude. He knew a lot of things. And he could hazard a guess. So I think he knew, without the power of true magic, trained and honed for 16 years straight, or however long, he didn't know how, I highly doubt he knew how long it would take for Arthur or anyone to free chaos or master chaos or whatever. But I think he knew, deep down within, that he was going to lose to his son. But the best way to make sure that in the long run his son never had a happy ending was taking away the one thing that could have guaranteed it. And all he had to do was make a few storms and shake the planet a little bit. And bada bing, bada boom, the key to defeating chaos was lost to destroy some commandments. I think the Demon King is more than petty enough to pull something like that off. And I think he's more than knowledgeable enough too. However, that's what I think. Please tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure the notification most miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below, and support for as low as $1 a month, including exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Now, thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off.